afternoon. I'm Joseph Lopez with Spanish Coalition for Housing, and today I'm joined by two of my colleagues, Gerardo Ravelo from Spanish Coalition for Housing, our financial literacy and pre-purchase counselor, home ownership counselor, as well as Tabitha Rodriguez with the Spanish Coalition for Housing, who specializes in foreclosure prevention. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. We're going to use this next few minutes to thank CAN TV for allowing this opportunity, and to thank you all for joining us and viewing us on CAN TV. You can also stream online at cantv.org/hotline. The next 25 minutes is your chance to ask us questions about two primary housing issues and topics. The two topics we're covering this afternoon is foreclosure prevention. That means that those homeowners who are experiencing challenges paying their mortgages, what assistance Spanish Coalition could offer them, as well as the other side of the spectrum, which is home ownership. Those prospective home buyers who are interested in the home buying process, where Gerardo will talk a bit about that process as well and how folks can access Spanish Coalition for those resources. So you do have the call-in number today at the bottom of your screen, and that is 312-738-1060, or tweet us at scforhousing.org. Great. So thank you again for joining us, Gerardo and Tabitha.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having us.
Great. So let's jump in and talk a bit about the Spanish Coalition for Housing. So tell us a little bit about what the organization does and how long you guys been around.
Okay, so Spanish Coalition for Housing is a housing counseling agency certified by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. We are dedicated to providing counseling, education, and housing resources to Latinos and other low to moderate income families in the Chicagoland area. SCH is constantly promoting and advocating for the necessary resources that families need to own a home. We have 3 office locations across Chicago where we serve over 10,000 clients a year.
That is great. That is so impressive. There's a lot of need, and the organization sounds like it has some amazing resources to help folks become homeowners and to retain home ownership. So that is exciting. So we're here today specifically to talk about two primary issues that impact homeowners. One is to preserve home ownership, and specifically talking about the challenges of home ownership, and foreclosure prevention. So let's start off with foreclosure prevention. What resources or assistance can SCH offer and for those types of homeowners?
So I'm really glad you brought that up, because unfortunately it's still a really big issue in our communities. Within our foreclosure prevention program, we offer the Illinois Hardest Hit Funds to our clients. Illinois Hardest Hit Funds offers up to $35,000 in forgivable funds and free counseling from start to finish. During the past year, our counselors were able to save 91% of our clients from foreclosure. Our counselors are ready to sit down with you to ensure your security and legacy, and we do it at no cost to our clients.
That is great. So your services are free.
Yes.
Folks can come and access the services. Now, tell me a bit about how do you get the word out? How do folks know that the foreclosure assistance, like the Hardest Hit Fund, is available?
We get a lot of referrals, a lot of word of mouth. We've had referrals from the Cook County courthouse system. They had the mediation program going on for a while, and we got a lot of our referrals from there. But most of it, like I said, is just word of mouth, people telling their friends and family members that are in similar situations. That's
great. So if folks are wondering whether they qualify for the Hardest Hit Fund and are uncertain, they could just give you guys a call.
Absolutely. We're always available.
Okay, great. That's great. Now, who can apply? We mentioned this before, and we talked about eligibility. You referenced it briefly, but who can apply for the program? Can you just kind of rehash exactly who it's there to help?
So people that are behind on their mortgages or in danger of falling behind on their mortgages, due to any stuff that happens through no fault of their own, loss of income, reduction of income, medical emergencies, divorce, disability, death of a family member.
And those are major household issues that folks
Those
encounter.
are, yes,
Yeah.
those are the main hardships that are qualifying hardships for the Illinois Hardest Hit Funds program specifically.
Okay. That's great. That's great to know. And now, how else can Spanish Coalition for Housing act as a resource for homeowners that are behind on their mortgages if they don't qualify in a situation?
Well, our counselors are also trained to assist in helping people submit packages to their lenders for other various home retention options like modifications and things like that, forbearances and all kinds of whatever, the whole spectrum of retention, home retention options. So we can help with, that whole process
Okay, great.
to make it easier for the homeowner.
So you guys really act as that intermediary, that coach kind of in between the borrower
Absolutely.
and the lender, and just
Mhm.
really help to navigate them through that process.
Absolutely. We help the homeowner by making the process easier for them,
Okay.
taking the stress off of them, just because in general we're more knowledgeable as to the process and what needs to be done and terminology in general and things like that.
Okay. No, that's great. That sounds like an amazing resource. So in terms of that additional resource, the Illinois Hardest Hit Fund, the modification options that some households may be able to explore, are there any other support services that Spanish Coalition offers homeowners who are
Yes.
facing
We
foreclosure?
also offer financial literacy workshops to ensure that current homeowners and potential homeowners are taking the right steps to securing their home for their future.
And why is that so important? I know we have both of you, you and Gerardo, who's joining us today, are very experienced with financial literacy and financial capability workshops, and why that resource is important. Can you share with the audience today, either you or Tabitha, Gerardo, why that resource is so important? Why
Yeah, I
households
can actually talk about it. Financial education or financial capability, one of the upcoming programs. I believe, and I truly believe that financial education is very important because specifically for the Latino community as well as other communities, it's more of a taboo when it comes to finances. We learn about our finances the way that our parents pretty much work their finances, which is very, very minimum.
Right.
We don't have that education. So financial education provides you or empower individuals with that. It will help them develop a sustainable budget, which is the very first thing when you're purchasing, and it's also the foundation of financial education. Developing your budgeting skills will allow you to open to establishing credit, develop savings, reduce debt, and all the other factors for financial education.
So it's really giving you the tools to be better homeowners,
Absolutely.
to be successful
Yep.
in the
Absolutely.
home ownership process. That is very important. That is very important. And you mentioned in the communities that you're serving, a lot of households are unaware of how important it is and what resources are available. So I'm glad to hear that you guys are out there offering that service and that resource. Now is that service also free?
Absolutely. Financial education program is also at no cost of the clients.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Now, it sounds like we've covered some great information for the viewers out there who've joined us this afternoon. How can folks contact your office to inquire about any additional information on what they've heard today?
Well, I'm out of the Pilsen office, so you can call our Pilsen office at 312-850-2660, or you can visit our website at sc4housing.org to learn more about the programs and all the various services that we offer.
Excellent. So right now we'll take an opportunity to open up the call lines and invite our viewers to call in if they have any questions about any information that they've heard, and continue to if any questions about whether it's foreclosure prevention or information related to how to save their homes and the resources that they can access, like the Illinois Hardest Hit Fund. So let me pull up Good permission. So as we're continuing to talk about foreclosure prevention, we're going to talk about additional resources as we continue to discuss the resources that Spanish Coalition for Housing has to offer. I know one of the things that we talked about was just eligibility and access. And you guys mentioned how Spanish Coalition has multiple offices throughout the region. Tabitha, you're coming from the Pilsen office.
Yes.
Gerardo, you're also working out of the Pilsen office as
I
well?
do cover a little bit more ground. I cover both the Pilsen office as well as the South Chicago office.
South Chicago office. Okay, great. Now, where's that located?
9010 South Commercial Avenue,
Okay.
which is near the border with the Indiana.
Indiana as well. Okay. And yeah, I understand you guys also have a north office, right?
Yeah.
North
Correct.
side. Okay. And that is located, and I believe we have our main office, your main office located at Armitage and Pulaski.
1922 North
intersection.
Pulaski.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. 1922 North Pulaski. And then folks can access information online at scforhousing.org.
Yes.
And get some information or call the main number that was on the screen a few minutes ago. So that's great. So like I said, we encourage any callers who may have any questions about foreclosure prevention, struggling with their mortgage, want to ask Tabitha and Gerardo a question. Maybe you are experiencing hardship personally in your household as a homeowner, or you know someone who is experiencing a challenge paying their mortgage. Now would be a great opportunity to ask. So just, we'll leave the lines open for another minute or two and field any questions. But as we leave the line open as well, just want to see if you guys could really share with the audience why it's important to seek out resources and assistance for homeowners who may be struggling or uncertain if they qualify for any type of assistance.
I think that a lot of people don't really know all the resources that are available. They don't really know everything that's out there and all the possibilities that are available to people who are in these types of situations. I've had many clients come to me that say, oh, I didn't even know you guys were here, and I didn't even know that you guys would help, and they would thought that there was a charge for it that they had to pay. People that have paid thousands and thousands to lawyers unnecessarily because they don't know that there are these free resources, these nonprofit organizations that are out here to help the community. And we don't just service Latinos, we service anybody who needs help.
Please help. Okay, that's
So
great.
we don't discriminate at all.
Right. And that's amazing. And you guys said that your services are free. You're accessible. Oh, we have a caller as well. So there's a caller coming in. Let's see if we can grab that call.
Hi, my question was about purchasing a home. I have never bought a home before, and I'm just curious what would be my first steps to purchasing a home.
Okay. So home purchase.
I can talk about that. I think that the first step when you're purchasing a home, first you need to know what your credit situation is as well as what your budget situation. As I mentioned briefly, budgeting being the foundation when you're purchasing a home, that is going to allow you to keep a sustainable payment and see what you can really afford. So your first step will be to schedule an appointment with a counselor, a HUD-certified counselor that can guide you through the process, teach you and help you develop a sustainable budget, as well as review your credit situation. When you're purchasing, lenders are looking for specifics in credit, as far as credit score and a well-established credit. Counselor can help you and guide you through that.
Great question. Great question. Thank you, caller, for your question. Okay, so I think that provides us a great segue into the home ownership process. And the other issue that we would like to cover this afternoon is home ownership. So we talked about foreclosure prevention, how Spanish Coalition for Housing is a resource to homeowners to help them preserve home ownership and to access these very important resources like the Illinois Hardest Hit Fund. the most recent question that was asked from one of our callers is the home buying process. What steps can one take, and what do they need to consider to be prepared for home ownership? So it's a perfect segue into how, Gerardo, can you talk a bit more about how Spanish Coalition for Housing supports the home buying process?
Yes, of course. Through the home buyer process, as I mentioned, again, I can emphasize enough about how important budgeting is, because that's going to give you your sustainable payment of what you can really afford to pay without exceeding yourself. A big issue that happened that caused the crisis back in 2008 was that people didn't know exactly how much they could afford. They were getting into mortgages like they couldn't really afford because they didn't have a sustainable budget. They were lacking on those budgeting skills. Spanish Coalition for Housing will provide you with those skills, those tools. It will teach you and help you develop a sustainable budget. It will teach you, help you understand what you can really afford. It will help you through the process when it comes to any credit challenges that you may have. It will gauge you to what the lenders call you credit worthy, which is what lenders are looking for specifically when you're trying to purchase. It will also help you choosing your team. When you're purchasing a home, it's not just yourself. You have to select a team. I like to compare it like a basketball team.
Okay.
You get, as in the basketball team, you get your center, forward, all the members in that team. Same thing when you're purchasing a home. When you're purchasing a home, you have your counselor, you have your lender, which is going to help you with your mortgage. That's going to get you the mortgage. Have your real estate agent, who's going to help you find a home. Then you need your attorney, that's going to help you review all the legal documentations that comes when you're purchasing a home. If you don't know what you can see as far as when you're purchasing a home, you have a book to read.
Okay.
Of all legal documents.
Okay.
That's what the attorney will do for you.
Okay.
It will ensure that everything that you apply for is there.
Is there? Okay.
In addition to that, you need your insurance agent, and one of the members was like typically underrated is your home inspector.
Is your home inspector? Okay.
Many people think that because my coworker or my friend is really good at construction, he can do a proper inspection. A certified inspector will tell you exactly what's going on with that property and if it's worth it to really purchase that property.
Property. Okay.
The only thing that can change or alter your contract is the home inspection.
Is a home inspection. Okay. And does the lender require the property to be inspected before?
Fortunately, it's not a requirement. As a home buyer, you can waive the right for an inspection.
Okay.
There is a cost associated with it, but it's well invested.
Well
Why? Because you don't know if there is an issue with the roof.
Right.
The inspector will let you
We'll
know.
let you know. Okay.
I think we have a caller again.
Okay. Yes. We have a caller on the line.
Yes, I have a question. What's the first step? Is to find a house or to get pre-approved by a lender?
That is another great question. First step, the first thing you will need to know is exactly how much you qualify for. Therefore, it will be to get your pre-approval, because that's going to tell you, it's going to dictate how much you can afford. If you're going with a real estate to find a property, you may fall in love with a $500,000 property that you don't qualify for.
Right.
So a lot of individuals tend to do that. They tend to find the home first and then worry about the finances later. It should be the other way around, just because when you should hunt you should do your home hunting based on what you can really afford. So it will be best if you get your pre-approval first.
Pre-approval first. Okay. Great. So you know where you stand. You know.
You
how
know where you
much
stand.
can
You know what you can
actually
look for.
afford. Okay.
You know
great.
your range.
Right. And buying a home is one of the most biggest purchases that you'll make in your lifetime. So you want to be prepared. You want to do your homework, like you've said. You want to know what you're eligible for, and what you can afford. That's bottom line, and information and education that Spanish Coalition is providing the public and the communities seems to be very timely. Why is now a good time to buy a home?
It's a good time to buy because the stock is still there. There's a lot of homes available. Interest rates are still low in a sense. Therefore, it's affordable to purchase. I think still it's still the buyer's market right now.
So really, it's a good time. You mentioned interest rates. Are there any other like incentives for prospective home buyers?
Absolutely. In the state of Illinois, there is a lot of programs available that can give you thousands of dollars for down payment, closing costs. Some lenders also have their own grants available that you can tap into, and you can layer. What I mean by layer, you can combine different grants. And I believe we have another caller.
Great. Another caller. We have another caller coming in.
Yes. Yeah, I have a question. Do you offer any phone counseling, or where are your offices located?
Great. Our offices are located through the Chicagoland area. As we mentioned previously, we have one in the far north side, which is 1922 North Pulaski. We have another one here in Pilsen, well, close to this location in Pilsen, 1915 South Blue Island. We also have another one in the far southeast side of the city, which is 9010 South Commercial. We also provide phone counseling as well.
And now, can you talk about? Thank you, caller, for your call. So you're offered. You have multiple sites. You have the individual counseling sessions, both for foreclosure prevention and for your home buyer program. Do you also do group workshops?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. We also do the homebuyer dedication class. Homebuyer dedication class. Good that you mentioned a little bit about the different grants, because every single grant that is out there requires a homebuyer dedication. The grants are available for first-time homebuyers only, and they do require a homebuyer dedication class. After you participated and completed the course, you will receive a certificate. That certificate is what the underwriter is looking for.
That's great. So all that information is all under one roof. So when people successfully purchase their first home, does is that where the assistance stops? What happens after?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We also have a post-purchase counseling program for those individuals who already purchased their home and they want to get a little bit more, make sure that still everything is sustainable. What other resources are available?
That's great. So we have, just to wrap things up, we have Tabitha Rodriguez and Gerardo Ravelo joining us, and we spoke about two very important issues: home ownership, the resources that are available for current homeowners to preserve their homes, those who are struggling with making their mortgages. They can access the Illinois Hardest Hit Fund through the Spanish Coalition for Housing across all three of their offices, and we have that on the screen here, as well as the home buying program. And as Gerardo had indicated, the home buyer program, there are many incentives out there today in the marketplace. We have down payment assistance. The programs are free to access. The Spanish Coalition for Housing at all three offices. They have individual counseling as well as group counseling. So when you're thinking about home ownership, look to Spanish Coalition as your partner in the home ownership process, and their services are free. So we thank everyone for joining us, as well as we do want to reference the agency is celebrating the successes of their organization and their programs, and they are honoring their successes of the clients in the home purchase program on November 16th. So for further information, you can visit the organization online at www.scforhousing.org. That is scforhousing.org, or you can call their main office at 773-342-7575. That's 342-7575. Gerardo and Tabitha, thank you very much for joining us today. And is there any other thoughts you want to leave the audience at this point?
Just don't hesitate to give us a call if you need our assistance with anything. We have more than just the 2 programs available. We have lots of different things. So we're available for all your homeownership needs.
All the homeownership needs, and it's important to look for those resources and those tools that are out there.
Absolutely. And even if you don't know where you are as far as the homebuyer process, don't hesitate to come and see where you are. We can help you with that.
Now, do you offer it in multiple languages?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.